Good afternoon, Lilligans, anti-novelists, curious onlookers, and friends. Welcome to this episode of Zettelkasten for Fiction, where imagination finds order. So I want to continue down this road of collecting experiences just a little bit further. I have here in my hands my little group of cards. So over the last couple of days, I had to run out and pick up a sleeping pad that goes on my cot for when we get out to camp next weekend. I had to run a couple of other errands, what have you. I always have my trusty retractable fountain pen, which I love so much. And I always have my little leather magnet clip with my V on it that my bestie gave me, and some note cards. And these just get thrown in my bag. Sometimes I will take one of my little my little mobile decks that have the bulldog clip on them. I don't have them. They're on the other side of my desk, so I can't show those right now. But you get the picture. I always have cards with me. So I wanted to show you specifically what this workflow looks like, okay? So these are cards collected over the last couple of days, just as I've been going throughout my day. So this first one shows a research capture and what that might look like in the Zettelkastening process, but that's not the one I'm interested in. This one is an exercise. I was reading some short stories by the writer Lydia Davis, whose short stories, by the way, are amazing. If you're interested in short fiction and you don't know Lydia Davis, check her out. So I was just making some notes about how to sit and record details from the environment where you are, abstract those into a story element, and see how many scenes or scenarios you can generate from those details that you've observed. But that's not what we're interested in today. I have another note about locating characters in the story and within your story world. You have a primary character, which is your lead. You have secondary characters, which are your sides, and you have tertiary characters, which are the other characters. And then I'm looking at different ways of locating those characters in the story. Not what we're interested in. Here we are. The lie. So, what I was interested in when I recorded this was yesterday, and I was thinking through a particular scene in my novel. I know I'm not supposed to be cheating on Zettelkasten for Fiction with my novel, but sometimes I can't help it. I get ideas and I just have to go with them for a little while. Besides, it refuels my creative fire, so it's all good. So I was thinking about lying, and I was thinking about how can I create a scene where a lie is told in service to the scene I'm trying to write. These are my notes about this situation where there is a lie. A well-meaning lie, telling a lie or the wrong truth for the right reason. Think about that. I'm fascinated with that turn, that little twist in the moral compass. What if you're doing the wrong thing for the right reason? What if you're telling the untruth for the right reason? What could those reasons be? Well, let's see what I wrote. I put perhaps to spare someone's feelings. Okay, that could be considered a proper motivation for a white lie. Or to stop an argument, maybe to end a feud. That could be a good reason to twist the truth around. Or what about to save face, or to save one's reputation, or to save oneself from embarrassment? Not really the most noble of goals when you're talking about telling a lie. So those are just some of the quick thoughts that I had when I got this idea, literally sitting in traffic, about reasons why someone would have good or proper moral compass motivation to lie about something. And then I added an extra note. I don't trust people with honest faces because they're usually liars. Again, using that turn of phrase, using that little twist. I don't like people with an honest face because they're usually attached to liars. So, what would I then do with this story card? Number one, I don't have a particular specific scene in mind, so it's not going to go in my plot box. I'm not thinking, okay, this is a scene that needs to happen somewhere after the midpoint of my story. I have no idea where this is going to go. So for right now, instead of putting it where I think it would belong in the existing novel structure, it's going to go in my experience collection of cards, which we know from yesterday. Those are numbered 1150/14.101. So these are alphabetized. So I'm going to go through the A, the B, the C, E, F, we're on I, Getting close. K. Oh, bingo. There it is. The lie card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these notes to myself about how I could potentially employ a well-meaning lie in my story. I'm going to copy that number. So this is going to get 1150/14.101/41.1. And now I know my main lie card, which is this one, gets this additional thought filed behind it. So now I'm going to go over to my trusty index. I'm going to go to L, and under L, I'm going to copy that entry. I'm going to put lie. I'm going to put in parentheses well-meaning, because that's going to remind me what I have on that little card, and then I'm going to copy that number. 1150/14.101/41.1. Bingo. So now I'm going to take this little guy. I'm going to put him to bed behind the main lie card. I'm going to do it the rest of those little puppies. There they are. Then I'm going to put my little packet of my cards back together. This is my little experience collection. I'm going to go ahead and bulldog clip these because I do like to keep them at hand over in my box, which, as you know, is coming with me on the trip. So I'm going to flip back here. For right now, these live in chapter 14 because this is part of the material for the book that I'm writing for you. And I'm going to file those under chapter 14, which is where I'm currently writing about it. So there you have it. Taking your experience collection, taking the things that you've noticed throughout the day, installing them behind the appropriate experience card, and then assigning that number, indexing it in your index for safekeeping, and then filing those cards in your Zettelkasten where they live. So that is a complete look at the entire workflow of taking those satellite cards and getting them installed where they belong so that you can find them when you sit down to write. And then you're thinking, okay, wait a minute, I remember I've got a card about lies. And then you know where to go to find it because you've indexed it. So there you have it. I will leave you there for today. Keep collecting those experiences. Feel free to riff and add your own. Maybe you're going to add an experience of being sick to your stomach, or maybe having a headache, or maybe going for a walk or a jog. Your experiences can be anything that you notice that could have specific significance in a story, scene, or sequel when you're writing later. So capture and record those things because they won't stay in your head forever. I will see you all in the next video. We will continue talking about how to build out your collection of real life references so that you have plenty of material to draw from when you finally sit down to do the writing. Take care, and I will see you all tomorrow.